You are a beautiful sight and a beautiful place, so thanks for having fun. But we have something special right now that we'd like to do. And you may have noticed the picture up here on stage. How many of you knew Fred? So those of you who don't, look to these with their hands raised and just ask for a quick story about how special he was.
Okay. So Fred was very instrumental in the early days of Sensi when we first started. And there's some of you probably in the audience that have come to boot camp. And when they do the tours, you learn that one of the bar pouring machines was named Fred after all of the bars that he used to label by hand.
So Fred, in the early days of Sensi, Alice and Fred would come to the office. And part of the reason why Alice brought Fred to the office is because already at that time, he was having trouble with his memory. And when he could come to the office and label the bars for all of the early consultants, it would make him happy. And he would come and he'd bring his ukulele and he would sing to us. And everybody that was around him knew Fred as the happiest man around. And it was 4 years ago when we came to the Big Island, to the incentive trip to Kona. Alice was able to bring Fred along as her guest. And this is a picture of Fred in his Hawaiian shirt. And after that trip, when we got back home, it was a little too much for his fragile mind. And, you know, there were a few late night calls where Alice would call us for help and, you know, wonder what to do because, you know, Fred was very confused. And she had to make the very difficult decision to put him in memory care. And he was there until last December when, unfortunately, Fred passed away. December in Idaho is not a very pleasant place for his funeral, but he was buried with full military honors in the a military cemetery there. And his brothers and sisters that are still around, his nieces and nephews were unable to attend. So we thought it would be an appropriate time when we were having this luau to invite them. So I'd like any of the Kalilimoku clan, if you would stand up and we could honor you with a round of applause.
Amaliepa ke inumaina ka inumaina na laona we ke kai no na we kala no puna ka vaine no kalua no ikila we aloha.
Now, the one thing I have learned, that in Hawaii we can have fun and we can talk about what wonderful culture there is here. But on almost every conversation, it all comes back to ohana, to family. And we are grateful that we have a little piece of our family is Hawaiian. And that while the blood doesn't run in us, We are happy to be adopted into Fred's family, and we love him very much. And thank you for taking just a moment of your day to help pay tribute to Fred.
Okay. The Forget Me Not warmer was already in the works before he passed away. And when we launched it in March, we actually were able to take it to leadership in January and show all the leaders there. And then we launched it in March. And to date, we've done about 250,000, is that right?
Yeah.
That we've been able to raise for the Alzheimer's Foundation.
And we really dedicate that warmer to the memory of Fred and for all the help that he did to us and the great grandpa that he was to our kids, the great father that he was to Heidi, the great father-in-law he was to me, and Forget Me Not is an appropriate phrase for Fred, who, if you ever met him, it will be impossible to ever forget his smiling face. And when I think of Hawaii, I think of Frederick Mai Mai Okama Lama Lama Kalili Moku. Thank you.
Thank you.